This episode is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men. Get back your pride. Call them 956-441-2188.
But what a lot of people don't understand is that when this virus strikes and when this virus hits you, it's like a burglar in the night. It's like that thief that just comes in and you don't know that it's come in. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we've heard references that it's the invisible enemy. Well, it's the invisible enemy in more ways than one, because oftentimes when you think of this, of viruses and you think of pandemics, the first thing that comes to mind for most people is how Hollywood portrays it. And the way that it's portrayed in movies is you see people that are displaying obvious symptoms of being sick.
Yep.
You know, they've got the bloodshot eyes, they're sweating because they've got fevers, they're coughing. You know, they're clearly sick.
Yeah.
And that's how they're portrayed. But this is not how this virus is being transmitted from person to person, because the super spreaders, Rock, in terms of acquiring the virus and transmitting the virus, the acquisition and transmission of this thing, the super spreaders are the younger people, the people which pretty much, you know, 40 to 50% of the population that get it, supposedly, they don't really get serious symptoms or they're asymptomatic.
Yes.
But they transmit the virus. And so imagine you've got teenagers living at home, and I've got two, and one of them goes out and does whatever they do, you know, run errands, and, you know, whatever teenagers are want to do. They pick up the virus, come back. They're kind of asymptomatic. They have very, very minor symptoms, minor cold symptoms, allergy kind of symptoms. They think it's nothing. And they're in your home.
Wow.
You know, you're not at the mall. You're not at a bar. You're not at some nightclub. No, you are at home. But when this virus strikes, that's how it strikes more often than not. Because where are the sick people that have those high fevers, that don't have enough oxygen, that can't even walk to the restroom without having to gasp for air, or they're having just a lot of issues? Where are they? They're bedridden, on medication, or they're at the hospital.
Yeah.
So then who's spreading the virus? It's the 40 to 50% of the people with the minor symptoms that are, you know, thinking this is nothing, I've got nothing, or I don't feel nothing. And they go about their regular lives, and they're infecting people like myself, who, before you know it, you're at the hospital with a double pneumonia, with oxygen levels dipping into the 70s and 60s, and wondering why your heart rate can't go up before, you know, above a 40, and with 100 and 304 fever, and with your blood on the verge of clotting, so that your heart goes into cardiac arrest, or your kidneys fail and you've got to get put on dialysis. And that's basically my story. I mean, that's where I was, and I'm thinking, how did I get here?
Wow.
And it started with an 18-year-old teenager, basically with a part-time job, goes to work, comes home, doesn't think she's got anything wrong, gives it to her mom, who lives with me, my mother-in-law. Then my mother-in-law helps us with our kids, my 1 and my 5-year-old kid. And then my kids get sick. You know, obviously I love my children. I play with them all the time. And, you know, when you play a lot with your children and you have fun with your children, you're going to get close to your children. And so I probably got it from my 1-year-old daughter.
Wow. Who
I can't get enough of. I mean, I'm always hugging her and carrying her, and we spend a lot of time together. So, you know, I probably got it from my 1-year-old. Now, she blew right by it in 2 days, because every pediatrician will tell you that children have an undeveloped immune system that's not fully developed like adults. And so they don't get those cytokine storms that adults get, because we have well-developed immune systems. And then secondly, all of their systems work as best as they're ever going to work. Their circulatory system, their cardiovascular system, their digestive system. I mean, they're working at their optimum level because they're so young, and they're able to blow by these viruses like nothing. So 2 days, they were symptom-free. My wife, my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, within a week, they were fine. With me, first week, I was okay, and I thought, you know, this virus isn't that as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I've had bronchitis that's really, really been pretty tough.
Yeah.
When I've gotten it, I've had pneumonia in the past. That's been kind of nasty. And I've had strep throat. It's been kind of nasty, but I'm okay. I didn't have a fever those first 7 or 8 days. And I didn't have a sore throat those first 7 or 8 days. Didn't have a cough. I had diarrhea. I had body aches. I had headaches. And that's pretty much the only symptoms I experienced. It wasn't until the 8th day